Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today I'm going to be showing you LEGO Worlds. Yes, and if you've seen the title, which you probably have, you'll probably get that I don't think particularly highly of this game. Now, the basic concept of the game, the whole idea of having just a world made of LEGO that you can run around in and do whatever you like in, is brilliant. I don't know what was going on there, but I'm going to hop in this thing just to give myself something to do. The basic idea of just being able to go around and have the ultimate freedom to build, spawn anything you like in a similar way to Minecraft, at least in the creative mode, that basic concept is wonderful. It's a fantastic idea. Unfortunately, the execution, at least, I can only speak for the Switch version, is not very good. Okay, I'm going to start off with some of the lighter stuff, because there are some things that are, things like, we'll talk about graphics and performance. Well, first of all, performance-wise, it's 30 frames a second. It dips fairly frequently, but it's only by a few frames here and there. It's not enough to upset gameplay, and considering this is sort of a creative kind of game and doesn't really have too much of a reliance on things like, sort of fast reaction times or anything like that, it's fine, it's not a problem. You can just deal with it, you can just play the game, and, sort of visually, the game is really nice. As you can see, the sort of the reflection pattern on all the bricks, it really does look absolutely like Lego. And so, from a visual point of view, it's very good. They've got a very good voice actor, narrator going over the top. And they have these weird edge worlds, which is another thing I'm going to come on to. I'm skydiving off the edge now. Brilliant. Unlike a lot of the LEGO games, it really does take everything as LEGO. For example, sort of the water is made up of each individual brick, things like that. And it really just helped to make this really feel like a LEGO world. Right. Okay, so what about the stuff that doesn't work? Well, wowzers trousers, where to begin? I think the biggest issue is, for me personally, and it sounds really stupid, it's the controls in the menu. They are so counterintuitive. For example, to sort of zoom the camera in and out, you'd think maybe, well, click the stick in and you sort of go in increments or something like that. Nope. The triggers. Zoom out. Zoom in. When the triggers could have been used, sort of, for example, in Minecraft, they're used for destroying blocks, creating blocks, and things like that, that would make sense. Or maybe, sort of anything else, but camera control? I just can't get my head around it. And also, sort of the default camera tries to follow you around in the typical sort of N64 style. I've turned that off, which is fine, sort of that's not a problem. But then when you get in a vehicle, you don't get that following camera at all either, so you've got to do everything manually, which is, it just seems like this game is really unfinished. It reached a point where it was playable, and then the publisher just said, okay, just get it out, it's fine. And I have my reasons to believe, because this originally came out in March, I believe, on PC. This is probably the current state on PC as well, which is not very good. Let me explain. Okay, by sort of going into it. No, okay, that's already showing just how brilliant this game is in terms of not. To get into the main menu, hold X, which is fine. What do you do with Start? Start takes you into this menu. Minus takes you into first-person view. Right stick clicking in does nothing again. Right stick could go into first person view, but for some reason it's on minus, and so instead of getting into the main menu by pressing plus, you have to hold X, because if you just tap X like that, it goes into the last item you used, which is kind of useful, but again, don't have the main menu, which is something you're going to be going into more often than not, have a hold button. It just feels really weird and counterintuitive. You can customize your character, and there are various things like the skeleton can breathe underwater and stuff like that. So depending on what character you pick, and it can be fully customizable. Let's have a quick look in it. So you've got the full costume that you can choose. You can choose a hat, a head, hair, beard, body, and this is by no means all of the things that are available. I'm only going on a couple of hours of gameplay, and you unlock new things time and time again. So there's a huge level of customizability. Customization is what I think I mean to say. Well, I've clipped into the ground, and in a way I think that's actually kind of nice. You can clip properly into the ground and see all the individual bricks. Only thing is, wow, that's got to be tough on the Switch to render. But getting back into the menu, you've got various tools. You've got the discovery tool, which allows you to highlight things like this flower bunch here. If I press A, I've now discovered that, and I can spawn it if I unlock it for a fee of various bits. So they call bits those little cap things. I haven't played an awful lot of Lego games. There is also the paint tool, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can paint any color you like, and you can just, you know, change things like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get onto that pretty quickly. That's the thing. When the weapon's out, you press X and you go into this menu, where if you want to change weapon, you have to press B to put it away, then go back into the menu. There's no way to hotspot between things. There's the build tool. The build tool, boop. The build tool is probably one of the most useful in the game because it allows you to place individual bricks just brick by brick. And you can just... You think you might be able to get away with using the L and R buttons for, you know, swapping around, you know, flicking around. No, for some reason that's go up and down. You can also go up and down with a D-pad, but you can't move with a D-pad. That's rotate as well. The controls really are very, very counterintuitive, and they are trying to do a lot with this game. So there's no easy solution to having these kind of complicated controls. So, you know, sort of fair enough in that regard. But what they've gone for is kind of weird, and there seems to be very little consistency throughout. So, you know, sort of I placed that down, and if I wanted to, I could build something like that, which is, you know, perfectly doable and is very rewarding to do so. There is also the copy tool where I could just copy what is there and then just paste it somewhere else or store it if I like. There's also the landscape tool, which allows you to add and remove landscape, so I can just add a big foundation here if I want to. I can also remove, and, you know, sort of I can go up and down, and it catches up eventually. If you try and do big chunks, it can take a while sometimes to catch up with what you want to do. So the freedom is superb. But again, yeah, you see, immediately, this is the big problem. My immediate response to wanting to go into the menu is to press the menu button, but pressing that brings up the last tool I used. If I maybe pressed and held that, and that brought up the last tool I used, okay, but no. Instead, I have to hold the button down, and if you hold it down for just long enough, you get freedom of movement, you don't have to hold the button down. However, if you hold it down for too long, then, you know, sort of you highlight something, you let go, and it goes straight into that. But I don't want to do that. Maybe I didn't want to do that. Maybe I just held it down a little bit too long, or I was holding a direction on the left stick, and now I'm already in there. Ah! The entire game is like compared to Minecraft, this entire game is like you're fighting against the controls. Minecraft is still complex, and any kind of game like this is going to be complex in terms of control. But it doesn't have to be this complex. Oh, wow, I found a plane. I'm getting in that. Get in the plane. There we go. Now, how do I fly this sucker? I'm guessing hold B? No. I'm holding B. Oh, I hold B and hold down. Do I need more runway? Am I pressing the right button? I don't know, because the game... There we go. I've managed to get the hop on land. Okay, that kind of helps. Okay. That helps. You can... Okay, so the flight controls are up, down, left, right, responds to up, down, left, right, instead of flight controls. That's fine, that's a choice, but I'm guessing I can't change that. Let's have a look in the menu, shall we? So I'm in the menu now. I haven't touched a thing, I've just gone into the menu now. What's your first response? What do you think? You think, okay, well, I want to go over to settings, but you can't do that because you're currently highlighted on the map, and you have to, as it says in big characters there, although that's never the focus, change focus, and then you go down to settings, skydive if stuck, and look at how unresponsive this is. Left. It's just so delayed in everything you do. It's as if there's some sort of latency in the game. But you know it's not the Switch because you go out to the menu, you go left, left, right, right. I'm gonna have to blur that out. You go left, 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 left. I'm just saying left, 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 right, right, left, left. And, you know, flicking that too much brings it back. You know, sort of, it's responsive. It's not, you're not constantly fighting against it. And yet you get into this game and it just doesn't, it's like it doesn't want you to play the game. But anyway. Let's go into the settings, see if I can change that. So camera axis and settings, invert Y aiming. Well, I only want to do that for when I'm in flight mode, because generally that's pretty standard, but I can't do that. Vehicle controls, rotational. You can have directional, so you just hold the direction and it goes in that direction. I believe, I don't know. Invert rotational vehicle up and down. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Is that what I think it is then? So. Yes, okay, okay. But it's not changing the direction, it's just, no. It's not changed anything. Up and down is down. This game is really frequently compared to Minecraft, and I can totally see why, you know, sort of that's a very safe assumption, a very safe comparison, I should say. But it is so, it is Minecraft, oh my god, I need to highlight that as well. There is a momentum-based system where you are running and then all of a sudden you'll run faster. And that's fine, but then let's see if I can zoom right in. Zoom right in. When I let go of this, that is how long it takes to stop. It's like it's like you're playing some sort of action game where you have that sort of rolling stop. You know, you're playing a sandbox game. You're playing a sandbox game, you want the absolute, you know, best controls possible. The controls are absolute rubbish! The game also proudly states that there are infinite worlds, which is not incorrect, but many people will assume that, like Minecraft, at least, you know, sort of, at least not the the console versions, the PC version, the worlds go on forever. You can just, you know, you can just go off and explore and find everything. Not true. The worlds are very, very much not infinite. I mean, you don't get, I mean, let's, in fact, I tell you what, let's go to Skydive, which I have to go down for that. Skydive, so you can see, that is the entire world. That is the entire world. And you can get in your rocket and you can go to infinite number of other worlds. And that's the thing, it's an infinite number of worlds, not infinite worlds. Is that really, wow, that draw distance is pretty awful. I never really noticed that before. Wow! Whereas in Minecraft you go around and you build the world around you, or you try and create something, but the limitations make it a challenge. You have to think about how best to do this, how best to do that. There is an infinite amount of freedom in LEGO Worlds, which is not a bad thing. However, let me see if I can, let's go into the discovery tool. Now, I've discovered a fair amount of things. And so I have all of these characters here. Some creatures, some vehicles, objects. There are a lot of objects. There are a lot of objects. And I've only been playing for a couple of hours. There are thousands of objects in this game, which is great. However, there is absolutely no way to sort them. You have to go through, one by one, each individual item. And of course you've got this table format, so you're skipping 6 items every time. But that's still not a lot. When we look in brick builds, it's pretty much the same kind of thing. Queen of the Cloud Octopi, let's try... Whoa! That is pretty cool. This is the thing, the game is full of cool stuff. And you see the building animation and stuff like that. That is really cool. The whole thing is really cool. But it is marred by terrible menus, terrible controls, terrible execution, not being able to sort it. It's as if this game, you know, sort of the menus especially, the menus are so basic and limiting and not even really that straightforward. It feels like a game from, honestly, it feels like a game, a PC game. It feels like Spore, to be honest. It feels like Spore, which is what, 10 years old? I don't know. I thought about making that comparison beforehand, so I probably should have looked that up. Okay, to its credit, when you're going through menus and stuff like that, if you use the D-pad, it is faster, but then for some reason, it sort of runs away from you. There is still that unbelievable delay. Menus shouldn't have any delay, full stop. They just shouldn't. They just shouldn't! I've got to say, with my limited time with LEGO Worlds, I've been really, really disappointed. There's this currency system which you can see I'm collecting now. I'm just driving over things. I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of these things, and to unlock something, let's see if I can go into... Oh, it just so happens that that was actually useful that time, but... Okay, so what haven't I unlocked? So, a sweet tower, 350. I've unlocked that. Let's spawn one of them. Okay, so it's not very big. Let's have a look at something else. These are... Okay, so 2,500. Thief's Hideaway. Or Garage... Let's have a look at the Garage Workshop. So I've unlocked that. Okay, so that's a big old thing. So, you know, fair enough. That should take, you know, sort of quite a lot to unlock. 2,500. How much is that in real terms? Well, what am I on? 8,000? Well, 888. So let's drive around. Just knock over a few flowers, which is how you get money. I can't believe it. Dum 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 dum. I've already gained... Whoa, that's not what it's supposed to do. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I've got nearly as much as I need. Yeah, I've already got as much as I needed to unlock that giant structure. There is no point in having a currency system if there's no challenge in getting the currency. It's everywhere. I can just drive around. I don't even need to drive around. I can just walk around and whack it myself. For some reason it's zoomed out, so let's zoom in using the trigger button. But Minecraft, everything, especially in survival mode, you've got to work towards everything. You've either got to work towards everything or you work towards nothing, which is fine. As far as I know, in fact, you know what, I'm going to check it because I don't want to just sort of rummage around. I'm going to go through these menus. Okay. I just had to re-record something and it just brought to light. Okay, so all I was doing is I was going in, I just had to restart the camera. Confirm load. Yes, okay, I want to go into my original game and it'll present me with a load of options depending on how I want to play. Fine, load successful, yes, autosave, blah, blah, blah. But then I just wanted to go back, so I pressed B. B doesn't do anything to go back to the menu. You got to select back to titles. Yes, I want to go back to titles. It saves the content even though I haven't done anything. And then it takes... I just don't get how a game can be this astoundingly backwards. It's like constantly hitting your head against a brick wall. The game shouldn't... Playing the game, the menus, the controls, they shouldn't be a barrier. The game should just be easy to play. I mean, unless that is part of the game. Part of the game is the challenging control. That's different. I know! Okay, I haven't pressed anything. Why is that there? What did... No, it just came... What, was that just an error? I just don't know what's going on anymore. I just don't know what's going on, but all I wanted to do was go into sandbox mode. Fully creative, we'll have all the tools, objects, and bricks unlocked from the start. Oh my god. Start new game. Find a random world. You see, find a random world, and this thing's highlighted, so you think, okay, I'm on that thing. Press A, no, it finds you a different world. You've got to go up, and then select, and then preparing to launch, and then it'll land on it. It's just... It's little things that all just add up to this monstrosity. And the annoying thing is the presentation otherwise, aside from the menus and the controls, is great. Look at that. Look at that. You know, sort of it's flying around. It's like a proper little spaceship. Everything else is just infuriating. It also does this little thing where it says, like, releasing badges. And it's fun for the long loading screens. It's fun to have something to read, but it's no reticulating splines, is it? Okay, we're going to land on the planet now. And you see even things like, you know, the re-entry, well, I say re-entry, isn't you're going to it for the first time, entry. Burning up in the atmosphere, all that good stuff. It's all done with little blocks. There's so much they've done right, but it's marred by the absolute baseline of what makes a game good and playable. And it's just, okay, I'm on some sort of lava world. So everything's been unlocked. For some reason, I'm a skeleton with a helmet. So, let's have a build, shall we? Let's have a look at the discovery tool. Let's see what discoveries I've got. Okay, quite a lot. Animals. There's a snake! There's a snake going past. That's pretty cool. Okay, so vehicles. Quite a lot of vehicles. Objects. This is my first time seeing this. Oh, we're at the end. So if I wanted to do a snowy bush, I'd have to wait 5, 10, 15 seconds. It's just unacceptable. And for some reason, when I then go into the next one, it has to take me all the way up to the top. It won't just show me the top, or, you know, sort of the equivalent down here. It's not at the bottom of the thing. No, it's got to slowly scroll up. I genuinely am so disappointed that this game just couldn't get the absolute basics of a game correct. Loading the thing in. Let's place a giant seashell. Like that! It looks so nice! It looks so nice! And the concept of the game is great. Can I not get in this shell? Whoa! Yes, I can. Good. You know, sort of, I can go inside, I can go into first-person view, which isn't clicking the right stick in, because that would make sense. And, you know, I can just go inside this giant shell, and it's fun, and it... Okay, it must be getting quite... Whoa, yeah, okay, no. I'm gonna skydive. Okay, so I skydived because I was stuck. And gorgeous detail, the clouds are made of Lego as well. But why can I land on them? Why would I ever want to... Why can't you just set me to skydive from some other location? I get that it's randomly generated. Let's see if that happens again. No, okay, it missed it that time, but... Really? Really? And why can't... Oh yeah, you can get the brolly out. That is fun. But why? Why is this... Why am I fighting against the game? Why am I constantly fighting against the game? Minecraft, you know, sort of doesn't have anywhere near the possibilities that this game has. Because, you know, sort of all the bricks are on a far smaller scale. But at the same time, I shouldn't be fighting with the game. Minecraft just lets you go in. You're not fighting against the game constantly. This, it feels like I'm fighting a losing battle. You can also take damage. Why is there a health meter? Why is there a health meter? Because when you die, there's a wizard. Why? What's this? When I die? Oh no. And I just respawn immediately. There is no consequence to dying. So why is there a health meter? I've been talking for far too long about this game. I would love to say that these are the sort of things that can be fixed in a patch. But the game has been out for far too long on PC for that to realistically be a plausibility. So this is the game, and if you can get around the god-awful controls and the terrible menu system, you know, more power to you. Love the game. I would love to be able to do that because this game has so much promise. But it's marred by so many completely avoidable problems. Bad menus. There is no excuse for bad menus. There is no excuse for bad controls. I mean, yeah, it's a difficult kind of game to control. There's, you know, a lot of controls to take into account. But still, just try, just practice, you know, have a look, do some quality control. Was there any quality control on this at all? So much of this game is done right, but it's all spoiled by doing things wrong. What can I do with this scorpion? I can pick it up. Okay. Oh, but thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, what the hell is going on? What is that? I'm gonna have to edit this in. I've just said goodbye. But I've just drilled into lava and for some reason it's gone up. Jesus. Then why doesn't something just randomly blow up for no reason whatsoever? With that subscribe button, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.